What's up, everybody? Thralls Metal here once again. I'm Necrotic Nick.
I'm Jammin Jon.
I am Rin.
And we have an album review for you, or rather, yet another EP review. There's been a couple of EPs that have come out this week. So we are going to go over the latest offering from Spiritbox, The Fear of Fear. This also comes out on the 3rd of November on Pale Chord / Rise Records. This band formed in 2016 in British Columbia, I think Victoria.
Home of maple syrup.
Yes. Well, the West Coast maple syrup. I don't know if it's different than the other maple syrup.
Pioneer.
Probably. This is their 4th EP overall. Actually, Rin and I went over their debut full-length, Eternal Blue.
So they only have one full album, right?
Yep. Huh. And, yeah, they have multiple EPs.
A lot of EPs.
A lot of EPs. A lot of Elvis Presleys.
Yes.
This band features ex-members of I Wrestled a Bear Once. I really never actually listened to that band before. Heard about them?
They're odd.
Yeah.
Heavy, but odd.
I listened to maybe one track, or 2 tracks when that thing came. Because when they came out, the internet still really wasn't fully functional. There was MySpace. I found them on MySpace.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
I loved MySpace. Had all the right furniture.
It was mine.
Mine. Nobody else's. Thanks, Tom.
So this band essentially kind of started as an offshoot with those members, and all right, describing their sound, you could kind of just put them under that alt metal umbrella that is kind of accurate. I mean, it seems like it houses a lot of bands when you can't think of a particular style because they're a blend. This definitely has elements of more gent-leaning bands, metalcore, maybe a little bit groove metal too. It's kind of a hodgepodge.
It's like new metal.
It is what was it? Postmodern new metal.
Something like that.
With a pop gent twist.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, actually, that is kind of accurate. And again, we went over Eternal Blue, and we definitely had sort of a mixed opinion on it. I wasn't as much of a fan, but I can see where this band, can definitely get people into metal. I would definitely say this is probably a big gateway band right now, because, well, it's kind of odd. This band can be bone-crunchingly heavy. It's just devastating at times, and then can do these kind of sweet, emotional, almost pop tunes with heavy guitars.
But that's, again, the style.
They are the clean verse, the heavy chorus, or the dirty verse and the clean chorus.
Oh, we'll see you at Rocklahoma.
And you're definitely going to be kung fu fighting during the breakdown, which is tuned to drop A flat.
Yeah, and again, heavy and kind of deceptive in a way because, well, I mean, you don't expect it when you hear the poppier singles, but one of their lead-off singles is the opening track in here, Cellar Door, and that song is kind of a fucking monster.
It's a banger.
Yep, it rips. Nick showed me it last night before I left here, and I wondered if I was listening to the same band, because right off the rip, it sounds like old school Meshuggah.
Yeah, and Fear Factory.
Straight in Fear Factory.
Digimortal era.
Yeah. Strapping young lad, just heavy, syncopated, chuggy. There are no clean vocals on it.
None. She's pissed, and I like it.
She's got a good vocal approach.
She does, and it's getting better. Her yell before it had that break as but this, she's just straight bark.
She's got a punchy metalcore / hardcore delivery when she growls, and I noticed it sounds like she's not trying to scream higher on this one.
It's chesty.
Yeah, but yeah, the big heavy standouts on here, Cellar Door and Angel Eyes, again kind of far removed from the rest of the EP, and kind of to a degree the rest of their sound, because this band I would say definitely chases kind of singles, I would say. There's definitely a lot of anthemic big choruses and big vocal hooks.
Big bada boom.
Yeah. But Angel Eyes is also just an absolute heavy, churning, chugging song, a syncopated groove all over the place.
Although I could do without all the electronic shit.
There's a lot of blips and bloops. The kids love the bleeps and the zips. The
sweeps and the creeps.
Sweeps and the creeps is what they enjoy.
Yep.
And I don't know, cool, I guess.
I mean, even me being an industrial fan, sometimes it is a bit much, and Well, I mean, this style kind of lends itself to being overproduced.
It's way all the tricks, the auto tunes and the compression and the probably digital layering, but it works here because that's what they do. I wouldn't tolerate this from a death metal band.
Oh, no.
I wouldn't tolerate this from a lot of people, really.
I mean, as genty as it gets, I wouldn't tolerate this from Meshuggah. No way.
No. It reminds me a lot of newer Periphery, but not as technical.
Yeah.
Like, even in the poppier moments, even in the gentier moments, like, if you would have stuck Matt Halpern on drums in this band, it would have made sense.
Yeah, I mean, not as though the drum work doesn't have its more technical moments. There's definitely polyrhythms on here, but for me, it's the riff work. The riff work is a little bit more straightforward, especially in the poppier moments. They're looking for that backing melody. Like, we were actually talking as we were listening to this, like, if you stripped out the metal elements from the decidedly more tuneful songs, like Too Close, Too Late, The Void, and the last track, Ultraviolet, you would still have some pretty polished pop songs.
Yes, basically you take any no-name Illuminati sock puppet and give them the chorus to those songs, and it's a hit. And now you got to shave your head.
Yeah, you're officially going to become a Manchurian Candidate on TikTok.
That's true. Ultraviolet could be Katy Perry. I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, honestly, like, it starts off like a techno song. Like, you know, the synths are very lush. Honestly, it's not like a terrible song. Like, I don't necessarily hate any of these songs. They're just not really my style.
I don't know. It's weird. I feel strange about it. Courtney's very talented, and I can, for some reason, not pay attention to the bleeps and the bloops as much.
Yeah, and she's got a really good vocal delivery. Like, I really like her vocals. We actually talked about it in the last one. She kind of hangs out in a more, like, alto range.
It's all chest.
And very, like, breathy. So you kind of get that ASMR sort of thing, like, almost kind of like Chino-ish.
It's definitely crooning, definitely like a Chino thing. Actually, it reminds me of something you'd hear somebody half-cocked sing at karaoke night.
Yeah, kind of. But it's not a soprano high area. It's the mid-alto breath. If this were truly a pop song, they'd have somebody doing the... But she keeps it very simple within her range where she's very comfortable at. And she works it.
Yeah, and, you know, there's a lot of additional atmosphere, like synths in the background, and, again, occasional drum loops. So her voice kind of just, like, lends itself to the atmosphere overall, again, especially in, like, the poppier songs.
The overproduced nature of the vocals, it adds to the pop part of it. Like, you can tell there's auto-tune, but I don't know if she needs it. It's just because of that sound, perhaps.
I think a lot of artists that choose to use auto-tune are kind of like drummers that choose to use triggers. They don't necessarily need them, but they're there just in case it's not perfect.
And weird old man brain of mine thinks, you know, what did they used to call auto-tune back in 1975? Practice. Like, is it cheating?
I mean...
So's the internet.
Yeah.
The internet is cheating.
Is it?
Learn that John Hurd was the dad in Home Alone. Don't look it up.
But you do get, like, you know, at least one song here, I think that's like kind of a blend of both sides of this band in terms of, like, the poppy, more accessible side and the more heavy side with Jaded. You get a mix of clean vocals and harsh vocals and a bit of that, like, kind of like Seven Dust syncopated groove, which I'm still a big Seven Dust fan.
I am too.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it kind of harks like a really good balance. Like, even the breakdown section on it, because, I mean, I think all these songs still have breakdowns on it, whether or not they're going for, like, you know, the charts or they're just going for the pit. Mm-hmm. But even the breakdown on this song is kind of melodic. It's tuneful, and it kind of matches up with the kind of give and take thing with the vocals. Like, you have a really good chorus line that's backed up by, like, some really harsh screaming. And honestly, I kind of like that one, and especially at the end. Like, they kind of revved it up to, like, a big crescendo. I don't know, overall, like, I don't know, I kind of feel almost the same way I feel about Eternal Blue. Like, I feel like it's kind of going for an algorithm, and it's going for, like, different camps, because this EP's kind of got its foot in different camps, too. Like, you have heavier material that would lure in, you know, well, dudes like us who like heavy, chuggy riffs and shit. And then you have some more accessible stuff that would draw in someone that's maybe a bigger fan of, like, stuff that's definitely more accessible. And I don't know, like it's good bait and switch, I guess, because like the first single I heard was Cellar Door. I was like, all right, maybe this EP is going to be like super heavy. And it definitely has its heavier moments, but it's not. But I'm sure someone that heard, another one of the singles that was a lot softer was like, ooh, this is going to be like a tuneful melodic thing. Mm-hmm. And then the first thing they're greeted to is a kick in the teeth by Cellar Door. So, I don't know, this band kind of occupies strange territory, and I don't fully know what to make of it, but I know I like the heavier stuff more. And while I think the poppy stuff is still like well done, it's just really not my style. So overall, I'm going to give this 2.5 stars. I ended up liking about half of this. I think the poppy moments, again, are well done. It's just not something I'm super into. Courtney's vocals, I think, are excellent. There's some really badass riffs, especially on Angel Eyes. The drum work's tight. It is definitely overproduced. Like, I kind of like things a little bit more natural sounding, like a more of a live sound. And granted, I have seen this band live. There's a lot of laptop action going on, but it's decent for what it is. Mostly, it's just not my thing. But I mean, if you're a fan of, I don't know, man, I really don't know. Like Seven Dust, Periphery, Tesseract, maybe. But those bands are the radio. Yeah. Like if you just want like a good catchy chorus, and then occasionally you just want something just to kind of rage to, check this EP out. It might actually kind of fill both of those voids.
Yeah, it's a 2.5 for me as well. There are elements here and there that I enjoy about this. Of course, the heavier stuff speaks to all of us. It's not for me really either, albeit the people that are in this band are talented. To me, mostly, it sounds like everything else that's in this genre, just sung by Courtney LaPlante. I mean, really, that is what it boils down to. I could do without all the electronic atmosphere. That's a personal thing for me. But like Nick said, it might be for you. We always encourage you guys to check this out on your own accord, because who the fuck are we besides 3 dudes sitting in a basement? But yeah, 2.5 stars. Check it out if you're a fan of, Seven Dust and Periphery and kind of Tesseract and maybe a little bit of like Korn and maybe,
Linkin Park?
Maybe.
Yeah, probably. Maybe. Evanescence.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't even listen to this genre really to give you proper comparisons. So if you're a fan of this band before, it's a chance you'll still be a fan of them now. And
an interesting thing about this one, I would say it's more vocally driven than a lot of the stuff I listen to, at least in terms of metal. So that is definitely like a distinction that I would make here, because it's mostly the vocals that I got into versus the music. Like the music was good, but she really kind of drives these songs.
And that's why I like it. I'm a vocal guy, and I grew up with strong female vocalists, heart, things like that. And I'm a sucker for female-fronted bands that are decent. And I don't listen to bands that sound like this. And I would not tolerate this nonsense from a man or an American. We're Americans. We're better than this. That's not what I'm saying. The only men I would tolerate this from are Mike Patton and LaJean Witherspoon. But that's beyond the point. I'm kind of embarrassed that I, too, enjoy this as much as I do. It is overproduced, but it hits a certain vibe. If you're looking for that vibe, listen to this. Does that make sense? Probably not. I'll go with 3. I'm so embarrassed. My breasts are tender. I'm going to cry in the black lights listening to The Void, probably. No. Cellar Door! What the fuck? The Angel Eyes song is not Jeff Healey, and that doesn't make it better than Roadhouse or worse than Roadhouse.
Or less Canadian.
Yeah, the kids are going to love it. Maybe you old folk aren't ready for it yet, but your kids are going to love it. Check it out. Give it a whirl. Their videos are kind of key.
Yeah.
Hey, what else you got to do with your life?
So, if you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe, because we do stuff like this all the time. We are also on Patreon. If you'd like to help us out there, there's a link down below at thrallsmetal.com. Our Patreon link is there. It is also on our channel, but thrallsmetal.com is where you go to find Thralls Metal stuff. We have t-shirts, both new ones and old ones, which those are discounted, and we even have some hats. So if you're looking for some stuff of ours, that is where to find it.
And certainly, last but not least, thank you to all of you people for continuing to tune in and watch our shenanigans, such as what you just endured. But we appreciate it. We really do. The numbers keep climbing, and we're baffled as time goes on here that you guys still tune in. And we love all of you, and thank you for being a part of the family. And all that stuff.
Yep, you guys are awesome. We have tons of content coming your way, so stay tuned for all that. And I'm kind of hoping like the release schedule slows down because, man, this year has been insanely busy with releases. But yeah, you guys rule once again, and we will catch you later.